10,
9, 8,
7,
6,
3,
2,
1.
0.
Hello, Dash League, and welcome back to another exciting afternoon of matches. Today, we've got an exciting one for you. HAXX versus SITH, or SITH versus HAXX, however you want to say it. And it's going to be a good one. Sprinted here, I believe, and I'm currently accompanied today by Not Gollum. I didn't hear anything. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. Anyways, we're currently set on Amsterdam, getting ready for our matchup. I want to say this is HAXX's preferred server, and then we'll be swapping for our domination to a US-based server. I should know which one, but I don't, so I'm going to look at it real quick. In the meantime, I'm going to make some noise. It is New York. We're doing Waterway on New York for the second map, and probably a double server for a potential tie-breaking CP. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Not Gollum, but I think I don't actually have you on the recording. Hold on, let's try this. All right, try saying something now.
I'm saying something now.
Oh no, okay. All right, we gotta start this over. It's just been me talking this whole time. It's gotta be awkward. All right, we'll start this from the top. I'm currently in the booth with Not Gollum, who has been muted, which honestly has been great. You missed a lot of cringe from him earlier, but I guess I'll let him do his introduction and his spiel all over again. Go for it.
Can't believe it. Can't believe you would mute me like that. It's so rude.
I was wondering, there was something up.
Well, like I was saying, and y'all weren't hearing until just now, this is a pretty good matchup, all things considered. This is HAXX, a team who's been around for a little while at this point, and SITH hopping in, a new team. Several of the players on this team are names that I recognize, like Jason Bourne, Count Ducky, Counter Indigo. Not sure who is going to end up actually in the lobby here, as it looks like both teams are still missing a couple players. HAXX having 4 out of the 5 so far already in the lobby, but we got some pre-match time where you and I get to hang out with the chat until then. But yeah, like you said, we're going to be starting on Amsterdam, since HAXX is almost entirely a European team. They've got a couple players on the east coast of the US, but mostly European. And I think SITH is entirely US based.
Look at all those green pings on HAXX side. Could be pretty telling.
And I'm Groot with the green ping too for SITH.
I love that name, by the way. I remember seeing that name just recently.
Yeah.
And I like it. A little change of pace, all caps, you know. Everyone knows.
So we don't get a lot of caps lock out of names here.
We really don't. So yeah, any predictions? I think SITH are new to the league this season, and especially a lot of new players. Not only new team, but also new team members as well. But they've been putting in a lot of work lately. I was actually lucky enough to join one of their scrims lately, and I got to tell you, just based off of that, they've got a lot of understanding. They know the meta. They've got some firepower on their team, and I mean, HAXX is the more experienced team, but I think this could be a close one. What do you think?
I think you might give a little bit of favor to SITH. You've had some experience with them in scrims, like you've said, but especially because we're on an Amsterdam server on a launch pad, and having a ping advantage can only take you so far, but it is something worth considering. I think HAXX is my favorite to win this first map. They've played together for a while. A lot of these names I recognize in the league already as being experienced players here in the Sprinter tier, and they have my favor here. They are going to be starting as blue, going to be pushing the cart first, and that's significant too. Just the color choice for a payload really can give an indication of the mindset that your team is in at the start of a payload map, whether you think you're going to try to push the cart as far as possible and then prevent the enemy from reaching that benchmark, essentially setting the benchmark, or are you going to be trying to prevent the enemy from getting to a certain point and then reach that benchmark? That's kind of the mindset I'm expecting SITH might be in right now, is trying to slow down HAXX before that 100% mark, and then they have a mark that isn't 100% that they need to meet or exceed in order to win. That's a mindset that I've noticed can sometimes be common across different teams. But that being said, since we're on Amsterdam, doesn't that mean that HAXX had the choice here?
Yeah, I think HAXX do have the upper hand here, not only in terms of ping, but they've also got experience on their side. I mean, just looking at the names, a lot of these people you've seen in pubs, you've seen in previous seasons. Big Boy, especially, he was on Phoenix, I think, a couple seasons ago as well. D9, Rocky, James, Drevny's a new name. I haven't really seen that one. Might be new this season. And then, of course, Bracer, Robin. I mean, these guys not only have experience, but they have really in-depth knowledge of how things go. And they're actually coming off of a win, I believe, off of their last match. I want to say it was yesterday against Knock. So will they continue the winning streak as the more veteran team, or is SITH going to come in with their new talent, their new take, and take this? You know, for me, I think I'm going to have to root for the underdogs here. They might be at a little bit of a disadvantage, but you know, it's only New York and Amsterdam. It's not too significant. We're not looking at a ping difference between, say, New York and Sydney, you know? So anything could happen. And then, of course, they've got the waterway later towards their advantage, and, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, only time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see. At this point, HAXX seems to have finished up their talks. SITH might be designating their roles just a little bit, overviewing the strategy in that little meeting room. And really early on, I just want to talk about this tangentially for a sec. I don't know how long you've been around in Dash League, but were you around when the lobby area was completely different, when it was a much smaller room?
I don't think so. Or maybe I don't remember. I started out like in the middle of season 2. So
is when they changed it around?
I think so.
Because I remember it, I wasn't there, but I remember it looking completely different. There wasn't this like table chair type situation as far as I can recall from earlier videos in earlier seasons. It was just like a little meetup area, like a weigh-in essentially looking area, and then 2 little shooting ranges blocked off by the colored force fields we can kind of see now. But I like kind of having this desk situation here. It really is good for focusing up for the little board meeting.
Gives a nice conference vibe to it, you know, a professional feel, like you're about to enter something really, really awesome, you know. Actually, and I forgot to add real quick, let's talk about the SITH players. I mentioned all the HAXX players. On SITH's side, they've got Bob Diddley and Tread. Both names, I think, were present last season at the very least. I know Tread's been around a while.
Indeed.
And then, of course, some new names this season: Ares of War, Warners, and I Am Groot, who we already mentioned, but, you know, for the sake of adding in. So those are the players on their team. And, yep, like I've mentioned before, a lot of fresh talent. So, all right, back to conference room talk, and we'll be ready for this match to start. Oh, speak of match start, it's starting.
Oh, here we go. Okay, let's take a look here. SITH going to be starting on red. I Am Groot with SMGs. A lot of SMGs last season and this season have it's become a specialized role just like rockets, and I'm really appreciative of that, to be honest. having more heavy weapons become a reliable thing to pick up. I'm Groot doing a pretty good job of locking down sightlines here. Oop, just a
And that
moment.
was a pretty important pick by Big Boy. Double SMGs on the start, something you want to get rid of fast.
There we go.
Looks like Blue have completely cleared Sith from their starting area. That's going to give them a lot of precious time for this early push and give them time to set up that offensive front line.
But a little bit of a push out of Sith is starting to make its way through the shield room. They're just clearing a couple of those HAXX players out of the way before taking a hit on the cart, but the hit on the cart was a little bit discoordinated, and most of those Sith players tried to engage in multiple team fights by themselves. Didn't quite work out. D9 with good headshot accuracy there, and now they're holding the front line. It's going to be in Sith's wheelhouse whether they're going to make it through in time to hit the cart before those frontline players respawn. The cart has been flying thus far at 18.5%, and still with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. I Am Groot starts to stack on, but I don't know, it's a little early for that, and especially with no shields, that could end up biting them in the back if they don't win teamfights consistently enough, but they are winning those teamfights. Good kill on the Rockets, though, by Rocky James, who now starts to take a little bit of space, is going to try to stab somebody in the back. Doesn't get that shot off on the Rocketeer quickly enough, but the cart is still moving. It looks like that forward Rocketeer got taken out. Bob Diddley going for the cart from behind with the Rockets. Rocky James not afraid to jump right onto that cart and get some more movement while the rest of his teammates try to catch up behind. I'm noticing a little bit of lacking in group pushes out of Sith. The Rocketeers have tried to set up consistently, but HAXX has just been playing a little bit better together, and players like Big Boy J getting wicked flanks like that are really working to the benefit of HAXX. Do you have any sort of insight here as to what's going on?
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's, you know, when you're a little bit underpowered when it comes to like firepower, as we're noticing here, you need to group, especially on defense. It's just something not a lot of that teams do. And a new team like Sith are kind of showing that a little bit, that inexperience here. Finally getting that defense though, but it's hard to deal with HAXX, especially as they're now grouping up, doing those mini pushes towards cart. And with 3 minutes left on the clock, this has been a really great push on HAXX part.
Sith are starting to stabilize just a little bit, and this cart stacking, which they started much earlier in the map than I would normally recommend, now is a pretty good time for that. But D9 following up with the shocks is going to take a little bit of a stab at the Rocketeer. Doesn't get that shot off, however. Good rockets by Bob Diddley, though, not hitting the cart. Oh no, Rocky James was in behind, took out the rockets, and the cart is now moving. Sith scrambling to recover their defensive line, making their way to the cart, but flankers keep getting through that tube. I'm Groot turns around, but the cart is moving once again. Rockets only just now getting set up. It seems like Sith is starting to stabilize once again, but even still, that was quite the sudden push out of a flank for HAXX.
That push by Rocky James gives me PTSD from some of the pubs I've played. Rocky James does that a ton. Gotta protect that flank. You really have to. And Sharkhead, welcome to the booth. I just noticed you entered. We were expecting you.
Hello.
So welcome. I'll leave you to it.
I'm late.
Not Gollum, Sharkhead.
Okay, so... See Rocket James pushing up to cart, gets taken out. See Rocket's taken out now.
Some good follow-up by the rest of HAXX there, and making the checkpoint too. I just now noticed the timing on that. Alright, they've made it through already. 7 minutes and 35 seconds on the clock, and only one player, it seems, out of Sith left alive behind the cart, just now getting taken out. Is HAXX going to set up that front line quick enough, or is Sith going to start sneaking past the cart? We can take a look at the minimap and see a little bit of that going on.
See cart now being double stacked. As Professor Robin now pushes up the shotgun. Alright, he's coming back. But Diddley and Tread both in disruption. See now Drevney low on cart.
And it was nice of you to point out that scoreboard earlier, Kastle. That is a good show of Rocky James absolutely dominating over in the front line. Anytime they're on the POV screen, you can expect them to be tearing it up in this map. Warners is also top killing and top scoring for SITH, but this front line, this brick wall being created out of Rocky James is giving more than enough time and space for the rest of the team to also follow up and make it extremely difficult for SITH to get any amount of significant cart stoppage. We're at 6 minutes and 20 seconds, and the cart has only stopped significantly just now, and already the rest of HAXX has been able to follow up. That hop off the cart was a good attempt, but they did get taken out. Just a little bit of not adapting to the ping diff quite as much as they needed to there. But the front line by HAXX is still holding on strong. SITH has not quite managed to recover the space that they need to get a full stop on this cart. Wow. This is a very aggressive play out of HAXX. A lot of players stacking on the cart here, fully aware of how much they're outkilling SITH and how well they're able to play together. SITH, really what they need is that group push. Even on red team, grouping up can be necessary and very, very useful rather than just flooding in one by one. And so far, it seems like SITH has just been flooding in a lot, and that is not working out great for them, especially when Big Boy J is the one around the cart.
Yeah, definitely. Cart's still moving. You see people like Ion Group want to push up. See areas of war next to cart. Is taken out by Racer Robin, who now pushes up, gets health. They're waiting on Shotgun Ledge, now pushes up from behind cart. Now cart is double stacked. See Bob Diddley trying to wipe cart.
Now, I think, the momentum out of HAXX, which has been so strong up to this point, already at the 86% mark with 4 minutes left, is finally going to start slowing down, and SITH will start recovering space little by little. This is their time to start adapting when they have the extreme spawn advantage that red team does at this point in the map. They need to use it. They really need to not let HAXX get in their face and take space for free. Tread didn't take out that player. They were hopping on the cart waiting for another teammate to do so, but that HAXX player stayed alive just a little too long. That focus on the objective out of Tread, though, is really helping SITH out. I think a lot of what has been working for HAXX so far is not just the playing together, but the amount they're able to pull attention away from the cart and distract those red team members. So that focus on the objective out of Tread, I think, is really helpful at this stage of the game. D9 with an attempted flank. Takes out Warners, though. And Bob Diddley. That's 2. That's 3 now. Solo pushing the cart. The rest of HAXX flying down the main rail on their way. SITH just now taking them out. Go ahead, Sharkhead.
You see, it is a war. He's now pushing up. There's Shotgun. Pushing right up.
I gotta say, I'm still in shock. Still in shock from that D9 push. That was insane. Good work with those shotguns. Man, got some push out of that too.
Is that offensive rockets out of blue team? This push is going majestically.
Oh, yes. Still going. Racer Robin hopping on and off cart.
Whoa, good rockets.
Yeah.
There's still one HAXX player left alive. Oh,
Racer Robin has really gotten that cart dodging off to science now.
Yeah, look at the minimap. There's still somebody hidden in the shotgun room. Or is that the triangle? Maybe they're getting ready for a flank. Is somebody on HAXX is ready in the flank there. Ares of War just spotted them. but there's too many Sith players who are pushed up, and now the cart is flying.
Amazing push. Could this be it? 98. It stopped at 98. Or D9 back. 99.28%. Very close. So Rocky James and try. So he's getting ready for a group or just a solo push. He's seen by Warner still. Oh, and that's it.
100% with 1 minute and 26 seconds
26.
left.
Wow.
Switching sides.
Okay. So this next opener, once we swap sides, is going to be very telling for how the rest of this goes. Every once in a while, teams you come across have a very extreme difference in what they're good at in terms of attacking or defending on payload. Some maps it's easier to do in certain sections of the map than others, but making it all the way to 100% is a very strong performance out of HAXX. SITH has a bit of an uphill battle on their hands, but if they can get an early clear and maintain that front line, just like HAXX did, there's an opportunity to make it to that checkpoint with a good amount of time left. So far, good defensive hold out of HAXX, keeping that house. Good hit on the cart with those rockets too. I like that follow-up out of SITH, but not quite as much objective focus as you need to have in this very early stage. You really need to just keep that cart moving because you're so early on. Your spawn advantage is so highly in your favor that you can't afford to lose any time. You need to skip through this area as quickly as possible so that at the later stages where you need more time and you might need to group push, you can take full advantage of the time that you created for yourself early on.
Yeah, definitely. See some trades and children. I see Brave Sir Robin grabbing pockets. Pushing up to cart now. Spotted is taken out by Ares of War.
Ares of War still distracting here on the front line. Finally gets cleared out by the rest of HAXX, but I Am Groot is now alive in the shield. He's just chilling in the shield while the cart is getting wiped, waiting for those rockets to pop out so he can take them out, but he misses the kill, and Brave Sir Robin backs up just in time to take out that disruptor. The rest of his team following up to protect them so they can just stay alive, hitting that cart consistently. That's exactly what you want to see out of the teammates of your fellow Rocketeer. Brave Sir Robin still alive despite getting disrupted 2, maybe 3 times this life. And backing all the way up. The cart is moving at this point. Good double kill by Brave Sir Robin, 1 with each rocket. Wow.
Now taking some shots into children. Waiting for a cart to be repopulated, which it's not. Still down, now it's back up. Looks like he's
good
oh,
flank
taken
by
out by
Ares.
Ace of War, yes. So
Taken out by
Drevney,
Peony.
pushing up to cart. Taken out by Iron Brute. Cart is down. Nevermind, we've got 2 people on. Big boy going behind cart. Now tread. And yep, just tread on cart.
Notice one thing that seems to be hurting HAXX just a little bit is they're not stacking on cart nearly as often as SITH were at this point in the map. And that's giving SITH the opportunity to micro push a lot more than they should be able to here. Overall, HAXX are winning a lot more of these fights than they're losing, and yet the cart is still well on its way to making that checkpoint.
Yeah. Brave Sir Robin with rockets, still hiding back, waiting for that cart to be refilled.
Shaking his camera everywhere too. I wonder what that's about. Maybe he's got a cord in his face or something.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, somebody's on the cart. Goes forward to disrupt Brave Sir Robin and takes him out too. That's an important kill.
Rocky James taking up Warner, so he's now pushing up the car. Gets a pick on cart, but cart is still up.
Good rockets though.
Yeah, Brave Sir Robin really good with his dashing too. Grabs 2 rockets now. I'm going
Oh,
up top.
good disruption though.
Trades with Bob Diddley.
It looks like that push has almost been stopped here, but enough Sith have been able to follow up behind that it can continue through the checkpoint at a very
checkpoint.
similar time. Wow.
That actually might be a little bit faster than HAXX, actually, just slightly.
Would be, yeah, it's very close. These teams are very even right now, so Sith, with that in mind, is well on its way to making it at to 100% at a very similar pace to HAXX. But post-checkpoint is very different from pre-checkpoint, especially if you can manage
Brave Sir
to
Robin.
get and keep a player behind.
She Braves her on deep in disruption. Very far back, right into the first blue spawn. Grabbing dash.
That's a deep flank.
Yeah.
This is something that we saw Sith attempting earlier on the mini-map, but it just didn't pan out. The card has been double stacked and moving a lot. Brave Sir Robin is staying alive, but decides this is their chance to pounce. I don't know if it's a good chance, though, because the rest of Sith is alive around this cart. Cart isn't moving because they're being very cautious about this Rocketeer who's alive. Good kill by Bob Diddley, though. The rockets did not reload fast enough.
Cart's now double stacked.
Yeah, that's a rough decision. How long you want to stay behind like that to get those, make use of those rockets. I don't know if one pick is enough though, but it was a good effort.
Yeah.
Cart is still flying up this hill. Once again, a bit of deja vu here, back to when HAXX was on blue, a very, very similar pace.
Yes. D9 taking out Ears of War. Or taking it out by Rocky James, now getting a pick and try. He's now waiting for a dash. Does get the dash. And pushing up the cart. Doesn't get a kill though. See Tread sticking to cart. Dashes back. Gets the pick on Big Boy. It's taken out by D9 though. D9 grabbing health. No.
That micro dashing out of
Whoa.
Tread was very interesting there.
See,
Oh, the
Groot barely
cart's moving
survived
down.
there. Wow. He was
Whoa,
surrounded.
Groot.
He was surrounded in Triangle Room, managed to survive with double SMGs and get a couple, like a triple frag there. Oh man,
He's in a very good position to
Get more.
distract and get kills if they don't get distracted.
holy cow, he's doing so good right now.
Yeah, I know.
Sith has been unstopped, not stopped basically at all since this post checkpoint. They are 1 minute ahead of the pace that HAXX was at this point in the map. And I think one significant part of that is Groot's playing.
Wow.
I think he's on at least an 8 or 9 kill streak right now. This is
Oh
crazy.
yeah, definitely.
Finally getting stopped. Wow.
Finally ended with Rocky James.
Now this is the important difference maker here. Can Sith make those pushes from now on as a group? Or are they going to continue to flood in a way that HAXX will be able to deal with? So far, that lack of cart stacking, at least in comparison to Sith, is still hurting HAXX's defense and being very helpful for Sith, who has been playing much better as a group in this post-checkpoint and on this color swap than they were on the other side. But cart is stopped once again. We've passed the 4-minute left mark as well. But they're approaching that corner. As soon as Sith hits that corner, that cart's going to start flying to that 100% mark. If you remember, that's the exact same thing that happened to HAXX as well. As soon as they hit that corner, it was dead easy to make it to that 100% mark because you have that shield protecting you from the red team spawn. Gervini right now can hit the cart from where they are, but as soon as the cart turns, it's that much more difficult to actually approach. Good group up on the mini-map out of Sith. Go ahead.
Now we see Drevney heads waiting for the side cart. Does not get a kill, but assists one. Now does get a kill on I Am Groot. Still waiting beside that cart, waiting for people to pop up. Picks up that sight line.
Something that HAXX has changed up is really working for them. That focus on the objective out of Dravini was exactly what they needed to prevent that cart movement and to force SITH to split their focus just a little bit to try and spread them out so that they have to try and clear the objective and also clear other players behind or next to the cart as well. And they've eaten up another minute and a half at basically the same percent mark as we were at with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Yeah. See D9 with a shotgun and a SMG. 2 kills now. It's 3.
And not overextending. HAXX is giving SITH a lot of space, which it can be dangerous, but if you're able to check the offensive pushes out of the enemy team, especially with good pickups, that could be a viable strategy. And so far, it seems like these pushes by SITH are just a little bit too discoordinated and mistimed to actually effectively get a team wipe on HAXX and start moving the objective again. And that's really hurting SITH's performance at this point. They only have a minute and 45 seconds left, and they're still at that 87% mark. HAXX has really locked in their defense. They know all they have to do at this point is prevent SITH from making it to 100%.
Yeah, it's a very good hold, but now they're moving.
Whoa. Good
So
turnaround by
close to
Vic.
turning that corner.
Whoa!
Big boy with a really impressive 4K holding the cart down for red.
Bruiser Robin taking up double SMGs, waiting in bunker. Gets a pick on Warner's.
Yeah, this post 86% hold has been absolutely killer for SITH. HAXX have done such a great job on defense here.
Now they have made it around that corner, or almost, so if SITH can get one really solid push and take out those SMGs as well, like Ares of War did just now, they can start to get some serious movement on this cart. A triple stack there, the rest of those players getting ready to jump off.
Are still moving with one person on. Double stack.
Oh
They're
man,
really
what a push.
seconds.
No
What I mean,
way.
this is the power of making it around that corner.
An
Oh, stopped
insane
at
push.
98.5.
HAXX really struggling to get on that cart too. They were not
Yeah.
fighting on cart.
Very short time. I think SITH only has one more push left. And they are making the best use of it that they possibly can, but this flanking positioning out of HAXX is just a little bit too difficult to contend with. SITH now going for an overtime though. Does get the overtime. Only has one player left alive. It's a 1v2. And I Am Groot
Doesn't look,
does not
look
win.
good. No, Max wins.
There we go. SITH
That
held at
was-
98.6%. HAXX at 100 with about a minute and a half left on the clock.
Yes.
Looking at the scoreboards here. What beautiful performance out of HAXX. Both their top killers, Rocky James and Big Boy J, hitting that 74 kill mark. Rocky James top scoring for HAXX at 8,200 score. Over on SITH, Warner's top scoring at 8,000 score, but I Am Groot with one more kill than Warner, 66 kills and 49 deaths. Top killing for SITH. What a first map, guys.
Yeah, that was so close. They were, oh man, they were just a couple seconds away from getting that cart. Maybe a couple more picks, they would have had it. That was so close. That being said, I will say HAXX did get to that 100% with a minute and 26.
Yeah.
So, that in mind, HAXX still had significantly better push. Although both teams getting to 100%, I really think that's, on teams that are closely matched like this has got to be more of an issue with defense for both teams.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Still, great cart focus on the blue push. Love to see it.
So with that, we're going to be changing to a US-based server. I assume it's going to be maybe a Dallas Central server, or
We'll get there eventually.
In between map ones.
You know, you were absolutely correct. We were not on the one where you could hear.
Yeah.
Enjoy this black screen while we switch to New York.
Well, you've got our lovely little Discord icons on the right side, so at least you know who's talking and what's up.
Yep.
So yeah, we're at New York. Did you say we're going to be changing to a U.S. server? Is that the one that SITH has?
Yep.
All right.
Switching to Waterway,
fantastic.
going to New York.
Jumping right into it. That is Europe's second favorite server because it's the second closest server, even though it's all the way across a whole ocean. That is about the best that they could hope for out of a split server situation. Moving into Waterway, a very fast and aggressive playstyle is going to benefit you on this Waterway here. So I'm curious to see how these two different teams, which were struggling a little bit on defense on the launch pad, but doing a very good job of coordinated attacking, each team was on that launch pad, how that's going to benefit them on the Waterway map, and whether there's going to be any sort of roster switching. It doesn't look like that'll be the case for SITH, the team in blue. Or for HAXX, the team in red.
Kastle, I told you before, I do need to go now.
Right.
The launch pad was fun. Sorry I was late again.
No, you're fine. It was fun having you. You enjoy. Have a good one.
Thank you for hopping in,
I'll
Sharkhead.
see you. See you guys, bye.
Yeah, going
Look
back
at
to that.
Thomas Shelby. Sleepy Gabe says best Rocketeer on Waterway. I'd be excited to see that if they start picking up rockets. That is
Are we-
not.
Are we gonna
Go
see
ahead.
some rockets? Oh, I would love to see some rockets. Although
You
I
do
feel
not
like
see that very often.
rockets. You need some decent ping though. I don't know if this would be the best choice for him to pick up rockets. If he could somehow get rockets to work on Waterway at a disadvantaged server like this, man, that would be really impressive.
The thing is with just how fast this map is, that's what makes the rockets so difficult. On payloads, you just have to check individual pushes most of the time. You don't necessarily have to like fight against a constant stream of people like you would on any domination map. So that's where the rocketeering can be so difficult. That and the fact that it's so open, it really is a map that benefits sightline weapons like pistols, snipers. If there were SMGs on this map, they'd probably be a little bit too powerful too.
All right, we're gonna bring in Speed,
Oh,
new
okay.
potential commentator.
It seems like HAXX is grouping up to get things started. Welcome in, Speed.
Hello, everybody.
Perfect timing. They're just about to start.
Alright, I'm really excited to see this match, SITH versus HAXX. Both really great teams.
Here's the opener out of HAXX. The opener on dominations. Very, very important. If you can lock in your opener, you can get a very early advantage that carries over into a point very quickly, depending on how much you've practiced it. But it seems like both teams have wiped each other out enough times that we're not going to get that very early point. We're going to start moving into a bit of a more back and forth mid-game type situation.
There seems to be a lot of heavy focus on B, but we can see Brave Sir Robin pushing up into their base, taking the dash, taking a lot of resources from HAXX. Well, no, actually it's SITH, my bad. But it looks like HAXX doesn't have control of B, while Brave Sir Robin fights in their base but gets taken out by Ares of War. Ares of War now looking to pistol snipe. You can see that he's pistol sniping from B and gets a pick on Big Boy J. He seems to be continuing, but it seems to miss the person in basement. Now Rocky James being able to get that point. Taking the dash. Gets the point again, but Ares of War looking to find him. Gets slipped away. Taps the button, counters it. There was a countdown for HAXX. Really interesting.
like to see Areas of War moving forward. This is a very coordinated forward push out of Sith that is now turning into a countdown, and there's still several Sith players left alive at this button. Good button hold by I Am Groot. Rocket James barely gets the counter. Oh my goodness, that was way too close.
Indeed, very close.
Another countdown for Sith, but most of those players have been wiped out by now. I don't think this is going to turn into a point.
You can see Rocky James pushing up to B, getting low, but still pushes into their base, but gets taken out by Ares of War. Ares of War now taking a fight with D9 behind his back. All they now need is to get control of HAXX's base. You can see that they're currently trying, gets a pick on Thomas Shelby. Tapping button, looks like there's a countdown for Sith. Are they gonna get it? No, they're gonna get countered by D9. Ares of War taken out by Big Boy J. Now looking to fight somebody in their basement. Gets away, they have shocks. Ooh,
I
but
think HAXX
gets
need
taken
their
out.
own button. Do they have their own button right now? No, they don't. They don't have their own base. Thomas Shelby needed to turn around and hit their own button. They didn't realize they didn't have their own base. That would have been a countdown. Now it's a countdown for HAXX.
I think it's actually a power play right now. Some connection issues from Bob Diddley. He's frozen in the base. HAXX with a real opportunity here.
Well, as long as they don't realize it, that's gonna be some critical information if they realize it soon enough. But looks like D9 grabbing rockets really nicely, but gets taken out by I Am Groot. Bravestar Robin taking Groot out, pushing into their base. Pistol snipes. Jason Bourne gets the dash. He's going for button, gets the countdown for HAXX. Bravestar Robin panicking a little bit, but Bob Diddley making his way to B. Warner's now making his way to B.
Speaking about
Robin.
Speaking about Diddley, he's back in, so he managed to survive that power play.
Really great to see that. Really catastrophic for SITH. But there's a lot of plays around B. Warner's really low, gets a sub B health. Is he looking to push into the base? Oh no. And that's a point for HAXX. Really nicely done.
Oh, and you know what? I think Bob Diddley with another drop, another power play. Bob Diddley having multiple connection issues, and probably a big reason why HAXX was able to get that point, which is really a shame to see because SITH had so much momentum in that early round. They had HAXX on the ropes. So it makes you wonder how much of it was because of that drop and how much of it was HAXX able to finally get some impact in here.
Indeed. We can see Ares of War now pushing into HAXX's base, but gets taken out by Bravestar Robin, making his way down to sub B to get some health. He's getting dash, making his way up top. Does he get the button? He does. Looks like Ares of War countered that countdown. Bravestar Robin getting out, taken out by Warner's. Warner's now making his way to B, gets the button, but gets taken out by Thomas Shelby with rockets.
Whoa. Those rockets were killer there. Post-death. And a countdown for HAXX once again. Good counter on B, but is it going to last? Can HAXX hold the button?
And that's it. That's 10 team wipe. Second team wipe for HAXX. 2-0.
Looks like SITH actually dropped their player for good this time. Really unfortunate to see.
They either need to get a sub in or this is a really dangerous spot for SITH.
Especially considering they didn't win that first map. This won't go to a control point if HAXX gets one more point.
Looks like they were able to get their player back. Bob Diddley now back into the action.
Hopefully third time's the charm here.
You can see Bob Diddley making his way into HAXX's base. Gets taken out by Thomas Shelby, but Ooh, just barely. Jason Bourne was almost able to get that button, but looks like Warners was able to make it and get the button for SITH. There was a countdown for SITH. I did not realize that. Looks like it got countered by Big Boy. Bob Dylan now preparing a push with his team, but gets distracted and gets killed by Brave Sir Robin. Brave Sir not Robin. I'm making sure that there's a lot of control here on B. Make sure that SITH is cleared of B, making his way into SITH's space, but gets taken out by Warners.
SITH does have their 5th player back. Bob Dilly's back in. Countdown for... Oh my goodness, that was close. Rocky James still alive, in the base, distracting players, shooting heads.
And
Countdown for HAXX, and all of SITH is wiped out. Too little, too late for Bob Dilly to get back in. HAXX wins the second map, 3-0.
Congratulations, HAXX.
And that was a nice last frag by Rocky James to seal the win there and finishing off with a nice button push.
Top scoring and top killing for the victorious team HAXX is Rocky James, 25 kills, 16 deaths, 7,200 score on this domination map. For SITH, Ares of War, matching with 25 kills, 16 deaths, 6,100 score, nearly matched kill for score by Warners, just behind them, 1 less kill and a little over 10 less score, very close there. Fighting for that first spot on their team, but that was an exciting match to watch and commentate over. Just unfortunate SITH wasn't able to get that 5th player back in.
Yeah, that 5th player really hurt them. I mean, Bob Diddley had an impact for every minute of the game he was in. Although I say HAXX still kind of earned it. They took advantage of the few moments that Bob Diddley was out, the few minutes that he was out, and they still sealed that last point despite having Bob Diddley in.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations to HAXX. They got the experience behind them, and it won them the W today. And a great try by SITH, getting past that checkpoint on Launchpad. You know, surviving that 4v5 for as long as they could. I mean, kudos to both teams.
Indeed.
Well, that all being said, here in the booth, we'll go over our names and then leave y'all off to the rest of your day. I've been Not Gollum.
I was Speed.
And I'm still Kastle. Have a good one, y'all.